In this video, I'm going to solve another absolute value equation. Look at the answer choices though. It's only asking you for the positive solutions. So when you get your answer, just be very careful in selecting the answer. So let's go ahead and solve for this. In absolute value equations, I want you to first ask yourself, how can we get this absolute value to be isolated? You need to have it by itself before you can actually solve it. So if you look at it as just a big something, how can you get rid of the 1/3? How can you get rid of the 2? So this is similar to seeing it as 1/3 x minus 2 equals 0. So how are you going to solve this? You look at it like a variable that you don't know how to solve, and you know it's attached to that. So that 2 needs to go. And we're going to go ahead and do that as our first step. We're going to add 2 on both sides. And we're left with 1/3 absolute value of x plus 3 equals 2. So if you do that here, now you're left with 1/3 something equals 0. So how can we get rid of the 1/3? Well, the 1/3 is next to that something, and you need to either undo it by dividing by 1/3, or also when you have fractions, you can multiply times the reciprocal, which is 3/1. So here I think the best bet is just to kind of do division, just because most of you are going to use your calculator anyways. So we're going to cancel this or isolate this absolute value by dividing by 1/3. This becomes just 1-to-1 ratio. So you're left with that x plus 3 by itself, because that's just an invisible 1. Let's type this in the calculator, this in parentheses, so you don't get confused on that. We're going to type 2 divided by parentheses 1/3. And that results in the answer of 6. So then now we have the absolute value isolated. That's what we wanted. Now we can look at it as, okay, so absolute value means I can have a positive 6 in here, because absolute value of 6 equals 6. But I can also have a negative 6 in here, because absolute value of negative 6 is 6. So that's where you write your two situations of where x plus 3 equals 6, and x plus 3 could also equal negative 6. And then you solve. So we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. X equals 3. Subtract 3 from both sides. X equals negative 9. So between these two answers, we have the positive answer. But also get into the habit of checking your answers in here and making sure that they are true. So for example, you're going to plug in these answers that you solved in here, and then you're going to have 1/3 absolute value. X, we're going to try the first one, so 3 plus 3 minus 2, and it's supposed to equal 0. So if it's true, we're good. That's a solution. Now we're going to check the other one, negative 9, and we're going to check by just highlighting that, pressing enter, and then going back to that 3 and deleting it and pressing negative 9 or typing negative 9. So that's also true. So that just confirmed that both of these are the solutions. And then the answer is asking only for positive. So the answer will be that third one. The first one, positive 3. Okay. I hope that helps.